Hey guys, Mikael from Opeth here. You're watching Loudwire.
Hey everyone, Graham from Loudwire here with Mr.
Mistel.
Mikael.
Yeah.
Akerfeldt of Opeth. Thank you very much for being here.
Cheers.
Very
Thanks for
much
having me.
appreciate it. In Cauda Venenum,
Yeah.
the new record, close enough. So I read recently that throughout Opeth's career, you've been inspired to create different types of heaviness throughout the ages. So when it comes to this record, what kind of heaviness did you want to encapsulate?
I didn't want to encapsulate any type of heaviness, but it became heavy I think in a more of an emotional way, as the traditional heavy metal, heavy guitars way.
Yeah.
You know, I think people think I'm full of shit when I like it's not a heavy record, but it's got some traditionally heavy like metal moments, but the overall concept, and I think for me, I find heaviness in the chord progression.
Sure.
Which I think is like, wow, that's something else, if you know what I mean. But I don't necessarily need to use the word heavy to describe everything. But if we're talking heavy, there's some of that stuff in the traditional sense, and also in a different type of, I would say, emotional sense.
Absolutely. So there is both a Swedish and an English version.
Right.
Was there ever any point where there was only going to be a Swedish version?
Yeah, that was the plan. But I got a bit worried. We did the English version based on insecurity, basically, because I was, what if people will make a pass on this record because of the fact that they can't understand.
Right.
I mean, Swedish, that language is only, we speak it in Sweden, and that's it. So it's quite unnecessary language. But I had a problem with bands and artists who sang in a different language than English.
Oh, okay.
When I was young, so I kind of missed out on the like Italian prog scene and stuff that I love today.
Yeah.
So I kind of overcome that barrier myself. But maybe there's people out there who will have a problem.
Gotcha.
So based on that, I decided I'll just translate the lyrics as good as I can.
So whenever I think back of the record, I've listened to it a couple times, I think it's great. Whenever I listen to Heart and Hand, I just always have that noise, us, it just keeps going in my head.
Right.
What is that sample from?
It says Heart and Hand. Usch means yuck, basically, in Swedish.
Oh, okay.
And it's taken from it's a children's show that was on in the 70s called Skrotnisse och hans vänner.
Okay.
Which basically translates to, it's like a guy who owns a landfill, like a metal scrapyard.
Okay.
And it's like a puppet show. Lovely, you know. And that guy who did that show, he also did children's books. And he's also a saxophone jazz musician.
Ooh.
Very famous in Sweden, especially for people my generation.
Sure.
So I got a hold of his publishing company and asked, like, can you put me in touch with Jan? Is his name Jan Löf?
Okay.
And it's like, well, he's busy now, and what do you want? And it's like, yeah, I want to use 2 lines from this show, and it's 2 characters just saying, one guy is saying like, it's despicable or something, you know, like it's horrible, and the other guy says, who the hell are you, you know?
Right.
So and then the song kicks in, but it's more fun if you're Swedish, I think.
There's some really beautiful orchestration on this record, especially on Universal Truth and the Garroter. Was this something that you were able to see through in the studio with this orchestration being played in front of you?
No, I didn't. I wrote the orchestration on like MIDI. You know, I don't know anything about theory.
Gotcha.
I don't really know how you write classical music, but I can write metal rock tunes or whatever, and piece some you know chords together. So I just tried it. You know, I got more confidence because I've done it a little bit in the past.
Yeah.
So I wrote some really elaborate arrangements, but then those had to be kind of printed out for the real musicians. So I got the help from Dave Stewart, who's like a prog icon from the past, and now he's doing basically orchestrations. And we work with him on the Pale Communion record, and he's done some stuff with Steve Wilson and Anathema, you know. So I sent it to him like, I hope he's gonna okay this. And he did, you know. It's like, oh, that's nice, you know. And he put everything together, sent me back like a version that was actually playable.
Okay.
Because sometimes, you know, I write for people with 15 fingers, or if you know what I mean.
Right, sure.
So he wrote a new arrangement based on my arrangement, and then he recorded the string players in London and sent it back to us, basically.
Okay.
On a little stick.
Yes.
Which is really, because his internet connection is so bad, he lives out in the sticks, and he sent us a little stick, and we were like, what all the strings are on here? And put it in, and it just comes up sounding beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How big was the string orchestra? Was it orchestra or a quartet? Or?
No, it was, no, sometimes we used like a section of the players, but I think in all we had 22, 23 players. It's really fun, you know, something I've been wanting to do for a long time, those elaborate string arrangements, just to see if I can.
Well, they sound beautiful.
Thanks.
So when it comes to touring, when's the next time we're going to get Opeth in North America?
I just said yes to a North American tour for February, March. I think we start on the 12th of February.
Okay.
In Cleveland, of course. Going through, I think we're here in New York, we're doing the Apollo Theater.
Oh,
2
wow.
nights there, I think. It's not like we don't do longer tours than 3 weeks these days. So it's the 3 week, or I don't know how many shows, but I leave and 21 days later I'm back home.
Yeah.
Basically. That's how we roll.